Hey, hello. So today we'll see one question like it's easy, but it's in array, lit code 75 array list. So after that we'll gonna see medium questions. So this one last medium, this last easy question left. Let's do that. So let me take you to the screen and yeah, there we go. What the question says that can place flowers. That's the question name. The after that we can read that you have a long flower bed in which some of the plots are planted and some are not. However, flowers cannot be planted adjacent plots. Okay, we don't want adjacent flowers. Then we have given an array flower bed containing zeros and ones. Okay, where zero means empty and one means not empty. Okay, and integer n return true if n new flowers can be planted in the flower bed without violating the current adjacent flower rule and false otherwise. Okay, if we can plant n new flowers in that array, that boolean array, then we will return true, otherwise we'll return false. That's the question says. So what does basically it means that we have a flower bed that we can see the first question that 1001 and n is equals to 1. So we can place that flower, let's say take that example here, that we don't want adjacent flowers, right? Here we can take 1 is a flower and 0 means it's empty space, and we want to plant a flower and it shouldn't be adjacent to the 1. So what we want, 0 1 0, such kind of thing, like there will be multiple 0 0 0 1 0 0, but what we want, there should be 0 at the right and left of the 1. So here which place we can find for our one flower bed, that n is equals to 1 that they have given. So we have to find for only for one flower bed. So we have 1 0 0 0 1. So here we can see at 0 1 2, at second index we can place flower 1, and we can say ki, yeah, we can plant one flower bed. And the second question, like second example is 1001 and n is equals to 2. But for that, when we place one flower at second index, then we don't have, like we have places to plant flower bed, but we don't have place, like according to the condition. That condition says ki we want one, like we don't want adjacent flowers. So what we will do here ki, uh, yeah, uh, like what coming in my mind, that I will take the three pointer, that it will previous one, current one, and next one, and it I will check key for the current pointer. My previous is equal to 0 and next is equal to 0 and the current is equal to 0. That if all of three are 0, then I can place flowers at the current one, and then I will go ahead. Likewise, I'm like that's my thought process. Let's go with that. Like I'm taking three pointers, so basically first what I will do ki, I'll check for the one for n is equals to 1, that not the n is equals to 1, for flower bed size is equals to 1. If flower bed size is equals to 1 and if it is 0, then we can plant only one flower bed. And if it is 1, then we can't plant any flower bed. So we'll return 0. So let's write that first, and then we'll see. Let's say ki if n is equals to 1, then return if flower bed at 0, it should be flower bed n is not n equals to 1. Sorry, I did mistake here. That let take key len is equals to flower bed dot size, and if what I'm doing, okay, what what I'm saying ki, if this len is 1 and if n is equals to 1, then and if flower bed at 0 is equals to 0, in that case only will return true. Otherwise it's not possible that if n is equals to 0, then it is possible that if that then everything is possible, right? Then we should return here itself. If n is equals to 0, then return true. Yeah, this will be possible in every case. But if n is equals to 1, then we'll check the flower bed and lane is equals to 1, then flower bed 0 is equals to 0, then we'll return true. Otherwise we'll return false. We'll return false. I'm saying ki if 0 is at 0th index, if it is 0, then we'll return true. And if it is 1, then we can't place that flower at that place, so we have to return 0. But what if ki n is greater than 1? In that case, we have only one length, so we can't place that all flowers. So we'll return false in that case also. So for if and else, for that condition also will return false, and for n is equals to greater than 1, that condition also will return false. So now see, what if key length is greater than 1? So what my approach is, we'll take 3 pointers. Like let's say ki previous will point at -1, and we have current pointer, and it will what happening? Okay, we have current pointer which point at the current index, that is 0, and we have a next pointer that will point at the next index. Here we have covered for length is equals to 1. So if length is 2, that will also cover that current is equals to 0 and length is equals to that. We are taking just 0 and 1 index, that it means ki length 2 is also covered. And yeah, we'll see. While my current is less than my length, till that, like, first we'll check ki previous is equals to -1. If previous is equals to -1 and current is equals to, current will be of course 0, but previous, current and next, these three are adjacent pointers. So what we want, if previous is -1, current is 0, let's take here that in that case, if we have 0 0, then we can place flowers at first place. But what if we have 0 1? In that case we can't place. So we'll cover that condition first, that if my previous pointer is -1, then I have to check that if flower bed at current flower bed at current is equals to is 0 or not, and flower bed at next is equals to 0 or not. If this case pass, then what we will do ki at flower bed at current we'll plant a tree that is equals to 1, and yeah, then in this case one that if previous is equals to -1 and current is equals to 0 and next is equals to also 0, then we can place flower at current index. Then we'll check else if our previous, no, not a previous, but what if ki and let's take a last one, like something is there 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1, and last index, I'm saying about last index. Here we can place flower at this 0 cause we have adjacent 0 only, and here we need to check current and next, like our, like here for the, for first index we check current and next. For last index we'll check current and previous. Remember that for first index we have checked first and next, and for last we will check previous and current. I said I think wrong. What I want to say ki for the first index we have to check current index and next index, and for the last index we have to check previous index and current index. So yeah, else if next is equals to n length, it means it is len minus 1 and len. So next is equals to len. Then what we will check ki current and previous one. So there should be 0. Then and then only I can place current. After placing the current, I need to say ki n minus minus, that I have placed one flower, reduce the n by 1. I have placed a flower, reduce the n by 1. What, and if previous is not equal to -1, len next is not equal to len, that we are in between the array, then we'll check like what we have to consider. I think I'm doing wrong it. Okay, and here let's take this, and what we need to do key flower bed at current and flower bed at previous and flower bed at next, all these three should be 0. All is equal to 0, flower bed at previous is equal to 0, and current one need to be 0. We'll, and current one need to be 0. Then we'll place the current at one, like flower bed at the current is equal to 1, and we'll reduce the n minus minus, and after that, like after all the conditions, we'll check that if n is equal to 0, that we placed all flowers, then return true, and yeah, if not, then just increase it, that previous plus plus, current plus plus, and next plus plus. And if n was never been 0 in the loop, then we'll return false. So let's check it. It should run, like it should get accepted, cause let's see, wrong answer. What it says key at n is equals to 0, our output is false. But we have checked, right? Oh shit. This happens that if you don't pay attention, then this happens. Let's submit it now. If n is equal to 0, then we will return true. Otherwise, will again it is false. Array I'm returning, I have to return true. What happening? Happens. Okay. So let's take time complexity and space complexity taking that. For this condition, it will be like it will be become in big of 1 condition, that if n equal to 1, then it will be big of 1. Len, it will take big of 1. It returns in big of 1 time len. So in big of 1 time, it will return len. So it will be big of 1. Then len is equals to 1, and n this will take big of 1 time in time only. Then we have here previous and 0. This assigning also take big of 1. For this, it will take big of n time, and under the conditions also for the condition is equal to 0 or not, this part takes big of 1 time. So all this loop will take big of n time. So time complexity will be for this code is equals to big of n time. N is basically length of array, and let's see space complexity. We didn't use any extra space, so we have just used constant space complexity. We can say big of 1, because here we are just storing the length and the pointers. So its space complexity is big of n, sorry, big of 1, sorry, my bad, big of 1. Yeah, that's it guys. Okay.